If you have your internet service through a cable company, which is by far the fastest, much more so than DSL, but if you have a cable modem, a checkup is strongly recommended, and it's simple. You just call your cable company, give them your address or your name or your account number, and at a glance they can look at your modem and see if it's operating within specs. Check your modem health. The two most important are downstream receive signal and upstream transmit levels. They have an optimum range that they have to operate in. But they can also see a lot more. They can see things like MER, which is your error rate, bits, packet losses, T3s if your modem times out a lot. They can see that simply by calling them on the phone. And if it's not, they'll schedule a service call and a technician will come out and see what the issue is. Many times your modem is barely functioning. It's locking up, freezing. You're seeing it in freezing, download stopping and T3 and T4 errors on the modem. And this is something that can be corrected with a service call with the technician coming out. Now, most cable companies in the United States recommend +8 to -8 dB of signal hitting the modem on the downstream, and transmit levels on the return about +34 to +51. As long as it's in there, it's going to operate it at maximum efficiency. But that's just a phone call, and it's mainly for if you have your service through a cable company. Give them a call, have them look at your modem, pull up your MAC address, and check your levels. Daisy chaining, or connecting a second router in series. If you have a home that's a really long ranch home, no matter what you do, you just can't get signal at the other end. Or if you have outbuildings, a barn, a shop, something out away from the main house or a pool area, you can connect a second router, running it off your first router plugged into one of the LAN ports on the back right here to feed your second router. Now, I did it for a different reason. Our cable company has a modem router combo kit, but they limit your wireless devices to 5 devices, and they don't give administrative rights to the user. So to get around that, I simply run an N-series router off the output of my combination modem router to feed unlimited devices. And I don't have any decreases in speed, and I don't have any conflicts with IPs. You can run into DHCP. The dynamic IPs can be conflicting at times. There's just a few settings you need to do, but there's a lot of tutorials on YouTube on how to connect a second router if you run into that, to change the settings for your IP addresses. And I would just simply search it and watch one of them. I didn't, and mine just plug and play. You plug it in, and if you don't have any conflicts, you're good to go. And it'll light you up with 2 wireless radio transmitters up to 300 feet away from each other, really covering a large area. So if you have an old router, this is an old 2.4 G series, really strong router, but some people still use them, but they make great auxiliary routers. Plugging it into your primary router or modem router combo and feeding it with Cat5 wire, running from the LAN port on the back of your modem or modem router combo to the input port of your second router. And you should have a very large Wi-Fi area. Now, you don't want an open network under any circumstances anywhere. You just don't want it. People are going to be stealing, using your bandwidth, and there's really a risk of people downloading inappropriate material. A lot of illegal stuff can happen if your network is open, not to mention hackers having access to devices in your house. So security is very important. Now, on the older G series, A and B series, the 2.4 gigahertz routers, they used a security called WEP, W-E-P. That's all they're capable of running, but it's better than nothing. And just remember to change your password often, and keep an eye on it. If you don't have any devices operating, if you're transmitting and receiving, somebody's on your network or something's pulling data. But keep your network secured where there's a web password required, and change it often. And you can do that again from your... And then with the newer ones, the N-series ones, they use WAP2, WAP2 security, which is a lot better. It's more secure. Again, the hackers, they're really smart, they can get through it. So use it, change your password often, keep an eye on your network and make sure it's never open, especially if kids give your passwords away, and that's real common. You're going to find that it gets around that, your password is this. So you want to make sure and change it and just keep your eye on it and never, never, never leave your network open.